as well as the deer. And then that story that I was sharing with you about first Yellow Leggins, when he got this teepee, he come across some other supernaturals that were part of Crow lore, part of our history. And they gave, when he received this gift, he received some protection, and in that protection is that this pole will be sentries of the crow, and this one being a mountain lion, and this one a grizzly. They will be there to protect this person, or protect the Crow people. And as they go along, in this almost being like our home, it is our home, representing the whole Crow territory, the great civilization that we knew as Crow, occupying up there to the Black Hills, to the Tetons, to up there to the Milk River, over by Chief Mountain, outside of Glacier Park, all the way to the Yellowstone, where it meets the Missouri. That was occupied by 3 different divisions of Crow: Mountain Crow, River Crow, and Kickinabilly. They were all different civilizations that are now consolidated as the Crow tribe. But before, they were different. They spoke the same language. They had the clan practices from the Hidatsa. They had the sweat ceremonies, the sun dances, the medicine bundles, the pipe, the sweat lodge. All of these came from our people like that. And now we're just the melting pot of Crow because of all that reduction of that land. A lot of those stories, a lot of that knowledge, a lot of our protocols have still remained intact, and that's what I'm sharing with you today. That this teepee, although sometimes we think of it casually, has some great significance, has some great importance, and has a lot of representation to who we are, and it defines us as people. This teepee here is our home. It's a mother. It represents our people. And when you're in there, you conduct yourself in a certain way. You just don't go in there and put people down. You don't bother people. Some of us, as young people, you see these young men, they were taught to not question their elders. They were taught to listen. And if they said something, they would be reprimanded. If they said something, it was unkind, they would talk. They would just listen and be mindful and respectful. So that's what it's like in there. And then in there, we want music and rejoice. We want to hear good stories and laughter. That's the kind of conduct that we have in this teepee. That's how we carry on in there. And as we go in here, like for example, when we get the cover in here, let's say I'm coming to this teepee, it's already up. There's somebody in there, I'm going to just say, I might clear my throat and kind of stomp. What I did is I'm trying to get some of the negative energy off of me. I'm trying to get maybe wherever I stepped in, I'm trying to clear some of that negative vibes. Trying to give it back to the earth, because I'm going to my mother, a sacred place. And when I go in, there's a place for me. I know that I'm not here because I'm not the chief of the lodge. The chief of the lodge is already there. He's already there. To his right, he has a helper. To his left, he has a helper. Over here, I could see that there are brave men there. Somebody that's got stories, war stories, something to tell about the legacy of the people. Over here is another elder. Here is a place where the women folks are sitting. Here's another place where the women are sitting, but some more medicine men, ones that we don't mess around, we don't tease, because when we do something upon a medicine man, that karma can go bad on us. So we just kind of be respectful and mindful and mind our own business. And over here, when you're a great warrior like these, my little brothers over here, this is probably where they would be. These are the bravest men. They're sitting here. And when it comes time, when the enemy, they're ready to go out, and then they're ready to strike. They're ready to attack. They're ready to defend. So they got a place in there. And it's just don't random. And if I go in here, and I come in here, I announce myself. I might just say, Shonmawa. I'm asking, and he says, you go to the side somewhere. So I'm not that important, so they'll put me on the side over here. But I'm all right with that. So we have our place in this. There's an etiquette. And just like it reminded me of my friend here, Butch, my buddy here, from this is a wall here that we don't cross. They say that the only thing that crosses that line is a ghost. And ghosts are negative beings in our world. We don't want to be like a ghost. So the only people that has that privilege, maybe later on he'll rub himself with cedar and get rid of that negative vibe. So there's also laughter going on. We're talking good to each other. We're sharing encouragement. We're teaching in here. We're talking about the poles and what they represent. And to the north, to the east, where sometimes we travel to visit with the Hidatsa, to the south, our relatives to Kiowa, over to the west, some of the Nez Perce, some of our friends over that way to the west. Sometimes our friends up there in the Washington area, up north, the Bloods. We talk of stories in between here. We have each other hear good things, and people mind themselves. If somebody is right here and they happen to be praying here, we just don't cut in front of them. If somebody is singing over here, we be mindful of them, because they're singing, they're rejoicing, and we don't want to get into that direction that they're going to the east. And if they're singing and they're singing some prayer songs, we never cross in front of somebody while they're praying, because it would be rude. You might interfere with their life. You might interfere with their life plan. And something goes along and it goes wrong. And you're out there in the world. And then you see this person fall and you think, was it me that caused that problem? Did I interfere by crossing their path? Did I cut them off when they were using tobacco and offering prayers to the Creator? So we be mindful. We don't ask questions too much. We mind our own business and conduct ourselves in a respectful, honorable way, and then we go a long ways in life. We're not putting ourselves in front of God by trying to question the elements of the universe. We'll just go along, and we'll just enjoy His karma, because there's nothing that we can do as people that we can put in front of this universe. We could even write a creed today and come together as one camp, but that bond won't last as long as nature, the mountains, the wind, the water. Even if we put it on paper and put it in a time capsule, that's still gonna not be there as long as the Creator of this universe, the clouds and the sky and the winds. Okay, now we're gonna set up the teepee here.